Welcome back for another one. In this video, we're going to be talking about intermittent fasting and how it relates to your metabolism. So if you're interested, definitely stick around. Okay, so this is obviously going to be one of those core talks that you're going to be hearing from me throughout time. But for this video, we're going to really focus on what intermittent fasting is. So it gives you some sort of background and framework and a baseline understanding of how to actually leverage this information. So intermittent fasting and metabolism. So as many of you will already know, if not right now, you'll know, is that metabolism actually breaks down in Alpha's core M3 protocol into a feed and fast. Fast is actually intermittent fasting, not crazy fasting, intermittent. We want to sporadically pulse your body without food, and your body's going to react with the way that we actually want it. So this is where we biohack the body into autophagy, into ketosis, etc., etc. Yeah, something just like got stuck in my throat. Now, with that being said, let's really understand intermittent fasting. So let's break the word down. Intermittent fasting. Intermittent means like sporadically, not like consistent. Well, consistently, but like in short chunks. And then fasting is obviously withdrawal of food. No consumption of anything that would raise your insulin of sorts, because we don't want to get that response out of the body. So technically you could drink water. In my mind, water fasting is great because of course water has no calories, water has no impact, but it does keep you sustained, which is fine. This is something that we can talk about later on in another video, but for now, intermittent fasting. So what are some popular modes of doing intermittent fasting? So there's 16 hours of fasting, so no consumption of foods, and then 8 hours of feeding, and then you have 18-6 where you're fasting for 18 hours and then you feed for 6 hours, and then you have 24, similar concept, 20 hours of no eating, and then 4 hours of eating, feeding window, and then you can do a full day fast if you could. That'll be just 24 hours, so the whole day you don't eat. Now, that's what's happening. So now let's zoom in. When you are not consuming food, let's just say 16 hours, what's going on inside your body? The first few hours, your body's like, okay, this is fine, this is normal. And then a few hours go by and then your body's like, hey, you haven't eaten. Normally you eat at this time, so it's sending you signals and your body's feeling it, and then you're also reacting to it. Oh, I want to eat something. So normally, if you were not fasting, you would have this cycle that you do every single day. You have this habitual habits that have been formed through time. And so now when you are not going to eat at that time, your body is now confused and your body's going to be sending you more signals saying, hey, why aren't you doing this? And so as it keeps sending it, eventually it's going to realize, okay, this person is not giving us the food that we were supposed to get 5 hours ago. So at that point, then the body's gonna have to decide, okay, what other types of fuels do we have available to us? So the sugars have been depleted, not enough sugars, insulin levels are really high, but nothing to do. So let's go ahead and just start generating our own sugars. So on our liver starts getting signals from our brain saying, hey, start creating these sugar molecules, so called gluconeogenesis. After we use all the glycogen within the muscles and the liver, we start doing something called gluconeogenesis, making glucose from whatever is available, right? So then now we can pump some out. But at the same time, this is not enough to sustain you throughout the day. Your body's going to start looking for other fuel modalities as well. So for example, right now you probably have a lot of fat tissue all around your body, fatty cells, adipocytes. You have these things, and these things have a lot of fat fuel in them. And so your liver then also be like, let's go ahead and activate the oxidation, fatty oxidation. So what that means is now they're going to start using the fats as fuel. You're going to start bringing the fats, so the HDLs are going to be very, very high. It's going to be coming into your liver, and then you'll be able to take that fat, cleave it, right? So these are long fatty acid chains, so you cleave them, you get the ketone bodies, and then the ketone bodies then go through your blood cells, blood vessels, and then it'll eventually be able to give you energy in the form of ketosis. You've heard the term ketosis before. It essentially means ketone bodies used as fuel when your body uses it. There are bad versions of ketosis, okay? Just don't think it's all the same. Diabetic ketoacidosis is another thing, because not only do you have huge levels of sugars in your blood, but you also have ketone bodies in your blood as well, and it causes some acidic levels to rise in your blood, which then causes a lot of other issues. We don't want to change the pH, the chemical levels of hydrogen ions within your blood, or else you have this huge flux of problems, because your body is a chemical being as well, right? Just as we are mechanical, we can touch, physically move things. We're chemical because we are fundamentally made out of water, and we're also electrical because our nervous system is pure electricity. The fact that I'm able to talk to you and think and do all of this at the same exact time, it's a miraculous. It's like quantum states in all in one. understanding that now, right? So we understand that intermittent fasting is your body will shift fuel sources. Your body will shift fuel sources to fats more than likely if you do not have any sugar available, and then you're going to be starting to burn more fuel. You're also going to, your body's going to be like, you know, we still need to conserve energy, so let's start breaking down things that don't need to be there, has been broken down for a while. Let's start cleaning up. So something called autophagy starts happening. And when the autophagy happens, is it's actually breaking down old cells, breaking down any materials that within you that have not been used or is not needed to be removed. Now, how does this relate to metabolism? As we said before, when you're eating food, specifically carbohydrates, you're giving it so much energy than it needs if you're not moving around, that you're just storing it. So now this is a great time when you do intermittent fasting, before you feed, you're not eating for long periods of time, so your body actually uses an alternative fuel source. So instead of it being fully reliant on carbohydrates and giving you the headache and whatnot when you're not eating the carbs, this is another great way of making sure that you can stay on track on eating as least as possible, but getting the nutrients and the supplements that you need within your life for your body to be who it is. So keep that in mind. So again, intermittent fasting is amazing. I personally do 18-6. It just makes sense. My body is in full keto mode at all times, which is great. So I can induce keto at any given time, which is making me contain my body fat percentage, which is roughly anywhere between 12 to 14 right now. And I think I want to keep it there for the rest of my life, only because if I got too low, then my skin would be very, very thin. And if my skin is thin as I get older, as you know what happens, aging causes your skin to lose its integrity. And then when you lose muscle mass, it just looks like old people's skin. So to prevent that from happening, we want to make sure you have enough body fat within you, a little bit plump, you know, people like that. And so once you do keep it like that, it's just going to be an amazing experience as you are going and living and aging. With that being said, guys, hopefully you found some value in this video. Hopefully I cheered you up or you learned something new. If you did, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. That supports me. Definitely, if you want to see more content out there, definitely like the video as well. With that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.